my beautiful friend. I'm Serenity Ravenwolf.
And I'm Robert Hubbs.
And together we are. A message came up on the screen, and I'll go, is that telling my mic is muted or unmuted? I'm
And
unmuted.
together we are having technical challenges just before the show today. And if you've been tuning in for multiple weeks, you know that we've been fighting a few changes. And I know Serenity, you've got some today. My my computer wasn't working, and I'm on my backup unit today, so we're
Facebook's
here.
changed how you do this, so I actually hope
Facebook's
we've gone
changed
live.
things.
Anyway, and
Yep.
together we are Love Heals Humanity, which in a way actually is actually a movement, and you, yes, you are a part of it. Thank you.
Yes. We are Love Heals Humanity, and later we're going to be working on healing our technology. So, with that said, I want to get into today's show, which is really appropriate given all the stuff that's been going on. Today's topic is called Dispossessed. So it's really about downsizing, and this was triggered by me, and it's about me downsizing my possessions to really upsize my life, and it got started in that discussion because um, it's a lifestyle. It's a choice about how much stuff we have, and in reality, less is more. And I don't mean that in a trite, in a casual kind of, oh, less is more. No, I don't mean it like that. I mean, I am so much more free to do, to be, to go where I want to go. I've been in 3 cities in the last 6 days traveling. Grab my laptop, go. I'm not homeless. I'm not roaming and couch surfing, but I'm not a prisoner to a lot of stuff because I downsized extensively. And that's not for everyone, but it's a really interesting conversation about our world today and how much we have. And does it contribute to our lives emotionally? Does it contribute to our energy? Does it contribute to our happiness? And I chose to downsize because it wasn't my happiness. And I
No.
know you've been through this too, Serenity.
Yeah, and I'd like to ask and encourage any of the viewers, whether you're watching us live right here, right now, or you're watching us in the replay, please share your experiences if you've gone down this path of. I mean,
Yeah.
and I've heard it called like the path, the minimalist path. That's a hard word. Say that fast 10 times without
Say
having
that,
to
no, say that faster because otherwise you sound silly.
minim,
Minimalist.
minimalist.
Oh God.
Minimalist. There you go. 3 times a charm. Sorry. Push my teeth back in. Yeah, in 2016, we had this. We bought our dream home, which was way huger than anything I'd ever lived in.
Mm.
And suddenly I went from being, well, rather poor, because I'd met, and my newly found husband that I found online, my beautiful soulmate, earned well. And so we bought this beautiful big home, and we kind of became abundant in oh so many ways. And then we just stuffed stuff places and we couldn't find it, so we'd go buy it again. And then it came time to the universe guiding us that, the house that we were never going to sell, it was time to sell and move on. And we decided to purge. And so I started purging, but then I ran out of time to purge because it takes a little extra brain cells and time to think of how important is this to me? Is it sentimental? I only want to keep what's important and sentimental and really has a use and I use regularly enough. Just using it once every 5 years is not enough for me.
No.
So I even got to the point where I had to get out of the house for the tradesmen to come in and finish the renovations to sell. So I just had to stop purging and I just stuffed stuff in boxes like normal packing, but every box that did not physically get purged, running through those filters, has the word purge on it. Now that was late 2016. It's now late 2022. What's that, 5, 6 years? I've moved twice and now I'm in where we were going, in a built house, but I still have boxes in my garage that have purge on them. And I made a promise to myself that no, they would not come into the house till I had time to do that. So I'm thinking it might be a very interesting experiment when I do have time, and 6, 7, 8 years have gone by and I haven't needed to go looking for those boxes to find whatever that is, do I even really need that stuff? Now, how much freer will that make me? Because I already feel freer from the half of the purge that I already did back in 2016. The amount of stuff that I schlepped. That's the only word for that. Like, you got to schlep that stuff. It takes up real estate. You know, that clutteredness that we have around us, even in cupboards, like, it does something to the mind. It clutters the mind as well. You know, now we don't even have cabinets and a lot of shelves anywhere because that just encourages me to get more stuff and ornaments and stuff to put on them. You know, I don't have paintings on the wall because why? I've got to schlep that too. I can just imagine a beautiful nature scene on this big open white wall. So what's been your experience? That's my experience, and I'd love anyone to share their experiences on this as well, because it has been just so freeing for me in so many ways and on so many levels. And beyond that, it's also been the example to my children that are now 29, 24, and 19 of living in this kind of environment rather than this cluttered environment, and I couldn't find anything, so you just buy more of it. You can be your own worst enemy in being abundant, by the way. Just saying.
But abundance shouldn't mean crowded. Abundance shouldn't mean clutter. Folks that I've talked to in the past, and this is the most I've ever kind of cut stuff out of my life, but I did spend 2.5 years traveling at one point a number of years ago, and I had really cut down a lot of stuff that I owned for that. And a lot of the people that I met while I was doing that, who had done really heavy downsizes, talked about having got out of that sense of you didn't own the stuff owned you. You had to have a place to put it, you had to maintain it, you had to clean it, all these. Schlep it. You were almost imprisoned by it. So the name of the show, even Dispossessed, was, one of those things. It's like, I feel like my possessions kind of controlled a little more of my life than I wanted to them. So I was possessed. I was possessed by what I possessed. Hence the name Dispossessed. So.
Oh, very funny.
That was.
I like that, and it is kind of like that because I watch a lot of, something that you may not know about Serenity is I like to watch the paranormal stuff on the side while I do other stuff where I don't need to concentrate. But they're good to watch. You don't need to watch them, right? And if something happens, they're going to show it to you on replay at least 3 times, so I'm never going to miss it.
Right. No, yeah, fair enough.
So, And Dina Sweeney, thank you for joining us today. Incredible, very true statement when you were talking about the downsizing and how freeing that is. And
I just want to say, though, I'm not an advocate for getting rid of everything because it's some magical force. Like, it's not magic. It's a pain it's a pain to get rid of it all. It's effort. And, you've got all these boxes, Serenity, that you have. They're time capsules in some ways, because you open these things, you're like, that's what I was doing 8 years ago or 6 years ago.
They're who I were back then. I've had at least 3 lifetimes since I packed those boxes. Actually, I never thought of it that way. That's a really great perspective. So I'm looking forward to opening the time capsules to say, no. And maybe that stuff that who I was back when I was packing those boxes was still attached to that stuff. Now I've even got some of the keepsakes. I'm even just worked out that I'm even happy if I have a photo of that jumper that I knitted with ferrule and it's got this beautiful big fox over it or something back in 1989. If I have a photo of that, because what is it? Is it the thing or the stuff that is feeding my soul, or is it the memory and the moment of where it came from is what it is that's important? And I think a great majority of the stuff, I know I own and potentially everyone else, a great majority of that stuff is if we just had a photo of it, we might actually be really okay just opening up a folder on our desktop now and again and going down the time capsule of memory lane, because that takes up a heck of a lot less real estate than that. I've even gone down that path with like all my books. When you start getting up to 20, 30 boxes of books to schlep, it's time to downsize, and even after I moved, and it took me probably minimum 3 years before nearly 4 years since I'd seen them, I cleaned out 5 boxes of books to give to charity in
Right.
perfect condition. And even then, some of those books, I believe that if I can get them in digital, I'll even get rid of the physical book again. And like it's all of these things. How important is that to you, and how painful is it when you've got to schlep that?
Right. Right. There's another elephant in the hopefully empty room, and that is
I love
we have
elephants.
this, I do too. We have this huge consumer culture, and much of our economies globally now are based on buy more stuff. And I'll be the first one to say that if the consumer economy stopped tomorrow, if people truly stopped buying stuff, it would change my life too, because, I still have clients in the retail space and doing e-commerce, and it changes a lot of things when you have a consumer driven culture buying things. And it's a reality. And what's it going to be like when it changes? But I don't think that pardon me, I don't think the continuous accumulation of stuff contributes to my heart. It doesn't contribute to my emotional, energetic, vibrational, physical well-being as much as the experiences and the places that I am where maybe some of those things were acquired. And
And
I don't
rather
think
than
it's love.
no, and then no, no, definitely not. Especially when I've got to schlep all that. And just to quickly add to that is that no, I lost it. Though Aaron, I'd like to. You know what I'm like. Connection's gone bad.
Yep.
Aaron, thank you for joining us. And Aaron says, our brains are very complex with memories and thinking we need to hold on to stuff that is wholesome. And it doesn't really, need it. No, absolutely not. That is absolutely correct, Aaron. And to add to that too, like what Robert was talking about, which is kind of, it's all on the same part with what Aaron was saying, is that, I'm out of the black spot. Is that, is that stuff actually feeding my soul and helping me fulfill my purpose here and reach my goals? Or is it, in a way, from a place of lack, because it's actually more hoarding than abundance? And because hoarding is from a place of lack, from a vibration of lack. And are we just literally flitting in like the lint on the winds of the universe, helping other people, like the consumer market you were speaking about, fill their dreams and desires and make them financial? Because it doesn't make me financially wealthy. I'm spending money, shelling out money on that stuff, and then I've got to pay money to even constantly move it from house to house when I move, and then I've got to get someone to maybe watch all of that stuff when I want to travel, and just saying.
And Aaron, Aaron brings up a really good point. Aaron, you bring up a great point, and that is, our brains are complex. I wonder how much of our energy, of our mental energy, of our emotional energy, that the accumulation of things, the dealing with things, even the dispensing of getting rid of that stuff, how much of that is it sucking out of my life? Getting rid of the stuff is hard. I mean, I know many of the things I got rid of are extremely useful still. Not for me anymore, maybe, but they're going to do somebody very well. So I can move them, keep them in the circular economy, and keep them part of somebody who maybe can't afford what I could, and now is going to benefit from it. And at the same time, I don't want it occupying space in my brain. I don't want it occupying space in my heart or my emotions or my garage or my day.
And that's the important part, I believe. That's the greatest gift I got from it, is the headspace that it took up. The headspace real estate that it took up. It's that, and I can't even, we keep saying it's freeing. And it feels like freedom, but I can't even, just to get on the same page with everybody, I can't even begin to put into words how that feels, other than to use the clumsy word freeing and freedom, and knowing the gift that I gave to my children. And then if I've gone down that minimalist, there you go, I got it, minimalist path, practice makes the master, right? You know, the ripples of that go out to the world as well.
Yeah.
You know, and the path of it is, while it's difficult to do in some instances, we just made piles of maybe, absolutely not, and we got friends to come around and have a look at the piles. Is there anything in there that you want? Because I don't have time to sell any of that. It's just going to charity. It's going to the trash and treasure for someone else to own it, and for a charity to make some money from it. Because then what's my time worth to have to go sell all that stuff, you know, for a pittance, which is what people want to pay for secondhand things. So I'd rather than just pay it forward and gift it to other people that can't necessarily afford that. But there's just simple questions you can ask yourself. You know, for me, I just wanted to really keep stuff that was really sentimental and important and really had a value, held a value for where it was I am going. Like this show, I kept all my techie stuff, my lights, my microphone. I absolutely did not even consider getting rid of that stuff. What is supporting us to be and have all of us to move forward on our path in this lifetime, to fulfill the reason that we're here? And I'm sure it isn't that stuff or that magazine from 1989, unless you're in the book, and then maybe you could just rip the page out or take a photo of it, and that would mean just as much to you. You know, it's asking these questions. Am I attached to the physical thing or just the memory of it? And that is where I can go get digital books, or I can take a photo of that jumper that I knitted in 1989 or something.
And now I will counter that with one sentiment, and that is, what about that moment when you pick up that object, or you look at it in 3D and just in physical presence, and you re-experience that emotion? And I think for a lot of people, and I know at times for myself too, there is a difference between seeing a picture of something. Admittedly, I can hold 12 or 15,000 pictures of things, and I can't have 12 or 15,000 objects in my room at my disposal at any moment. So there's that. But I think there is something in that moment of I get to re-experience that. And the things that I've kept were either extremely utilitarian, like I'd be insulted to have to buy this again.
Yeah, but for me though, then that would be like what I was speaking about earlier. Then you're actually, the thing itself is sentimental, because it's the thing that brings the memory. Not everything I own is, and I have a small box or two of what I call keepsakes, and they're those little sentimental things. But I believe I could even go through those and take photos of some of those pictures that the kids drew me when they were little, and I would be okay with just looking at the picture, because it was
the kids never want to see them again.
In fact, I gave a lot of it back to them. This is yours. You do this when you're 4. Ron's joined us, and thank you, Ron, for your question and for joining us. I'm so deeply grateful. I love you. And Aaron, I love you too. He says, I am so very grateful for this message today. Most timely for me personally. Have been procrastinating on dating with this for a long time. I'm now having a vision of light as to how to deal with this issue. I feel that now I have a mission to further my growth and to reclaim my life. Thank you. And that's it. That's this is about this is like the one of the greatest acts of self-love, because we are reclaiming our lives, reclaiming the power, our energy, thought processes, the stuff. Like that stuff that means absolutely nothing when I breathe my last breath. Mm-hmm. So very powerful point you make, Ron, there, and I'm glad this is very timely. I love synchronous events like that. Mm-hmm. So we are...
Yes, we are.
Time to start at the winding up phase. That for me too, though, is... I don't know. I had something I was going to say, but it's gone. You'll get used to that. I go through blank spots. We have
Just by the way, Serenity, just
yes.
like our topic, sometimes you have to just let those things go away to make room for the next
Yeah, and
thought.
I used to really stress what happens if I did that on stage or on a video or talking to people, And it doesn't matter. Just explain, just be comfortable with it, knowing that the black spot, if it's important, it'll come back. Or someone will say something and I'll remember in a couple of minutes' time. Or it actually wasn't that important, that's why the black spot came and it disappeared. And either way, I'm actually okay with that now. I channel 24/7. It's just a sign. Oh, you were just channeling information. It's good. So Freya's joined us. Thank you, Freya. Thank you. I loved the show and look forward to the next episode. So do we, because we love
Yeah,
thee. Just
so do we.
saying.
And it's
We're
good to see you again, Freya. Thanks for joining.
yeah. And I just want to bring up the fact that, mention very briefly before we go into the affirmations that I wrote just last night. Um, well, it's morning for me. Shh, 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 shh. At like
I won't tell
midnight.
if you
I
don't.
wanted to
Oh,
go to
wait
bed
a
and went,
minute.
affirmations. Oh, okay. Let's do those. Robert and I are putting together a Soulmate Success Secrets course, which is 6 weeks online course where we, and mostly me, will be walking you through, walking you through every step of the way to help release what you need, do what you need, be in the vibration, because it's all about you, it's all about self-love. And while we're putting the content still together, which isn't too far away by the way, we'd love you to join our Soulmate Success Secrets VIP alert list, which is the link at the bottom there, which is bit.ly/soulmate now. Great URL, right? I'll leave it at that because I don't want to dwell on that one too much. Does anyone else, before we go into the affirmations, have any other questions that you'd like answered or anything you'd like to share? This is where I play that music on the side. Sorry,
I have no idea what you're humming,
neither
frankly.
do I. I just something from the universe, as you do. Okay, so let's dive into these affirmations. And then after that, I create a energy ball with healing energy around this topic, and because the universe knows absolutely who showed up live, who will show up forevermore for this video, everything that anyone will ever watch needs is encoded into this ball. I know that sounds a little bit freaking out there, but that's just the way it works. This moment has already happened. We are just living a replay of that to see if we can do it differently. And often that sometimes when things don't work and aren't working, it means that we've tried that before and it didn't work last time. So how about you try doing it differently? And it's all about, do it differently. Anyway, that's a whole other show topic.
That's another show.
Yeah. So here we go. So I'd like everyone to expand your energies out into the universes and beyond. That's right. Just like that. Starting with the affirmations from today's show. My thoughts are my reality, so I think up a bright new day. All I need comes to me at the right time and place in this life. I fully accept myself and know I am worthy of great things in life. My confidence, self-esteem, and inner wisdom increase every day. I release the past and live fully in the present moment. I always attract only the best of circumstances and the best positive people in my life. I fill my mind with positive and nourishing thoughts. There are zero limits to what I can achieve in my life. I choose love, joy, and freedom. Open my heart and allow wonderful things to flow into my life. I have the power to live my dreams. Taking a deep breath to breathe all of the yumminess of that in and breathing out everything else that means other than that which supports us, supports you, supports me. And I'm up to the portion where I calling on an energy ball to be created. That's it, there it is. And I'm just going to put some energy into this ball, and when I'm done, I will blow it to you like I'm blowing kisses, blowing rose petals. And this is always my greatest gift of the show, where I have the opportunity to look you directly in the eye while I'm creating energy and healing energy into this energy ball, is to say, I love you. I love you. Oh, beautiful one. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, my beautiful, radiant, unique, beautifully unique, magnificent friend. It is my greatest honor to be on this journey with you and to be there to support you in any way and always possible. I love you. I can feel the energy dissipating, so I'll just wait a second for that to complete. And on the count of 3, are you ready to receive? That's right. Right there. Just like that. I love you.
Well, thank you everyone for joining today, and we look forward to seeing you next week. And next week, the topic is the gift of courage, and it isn't what you think. So, what could it be?
And until next...
As always,
yes.
Serenity, it's so much fun being here with you and being here with everyone, and I'm so grateful for our time together.
Me too. I love you. Bye.
Bye.